welcome to Bear With Me and STYX Round podcast. I'm Bear.
And I'm STYX. On our podcast, we talk about everything Airsoft.
Now, we've all seen movies with snipers in it, and we all think, as they pop up, we're like, this is the coolest thing ever. I wish I could be a sniper. Well, tonight we actually have someone that is a sniper in Airsoft. He's very well known in the COF community, that he's deadly, he's sneaky. Here we have Paul Carter-Brown, aka Ghillie. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks very much, Bear. Thanks, STYX, for having me. It's great to be on your guys' podcast and YouTube channel. It's wonderful to be here, and hope we have a good chat. Yeah,
it's an honor having you. First thing I want to ask you, Paul, is where does the Callsign Ghillie come from?
So I'll give a bit of history of my sort of airsoft career, if you could call it that, later on. But when I was in COF, obviously I'm Paul, and then there's Paul Kleinans, who you had on your channel a few weeks ago. And I can't even remember. I think I used a Callsign rib spreader, which I had as a gaming call sign from like probably 20, 30 years ago. And then I sort of, when I became a Ghillie sniper, then I was referred to as Ghillie Paul, and then there was Paul. So I was always Ghillie Paul, Ghillie Paul. And then I thought, there's no point having a different call sign. I might as well just call myself Ghillie. So I then changed my call sign to Ghillie, and that was probably 3 years ago or so. And it's been like that ever since, because generally you'll find me in a Ghillie suit. Or you won't find me because I'm in a Ghillie suit. So sometimes you just feel me coming. Yeah. So it's all about sniping for me. It's my passion. It's what I love in airsoft. And so I have the namesake. Yeah.
And how long have you been playing airsoft for? So
I started in calendar years about 4 years ago. In that time, though, on the COF website, it's got that little counters to how many games you've played. And I think I'm up around about 180 games at COF. Before that, I started with Jared and them at Urban Airsoft, and I played other SA, ASL games and all sorts. So in that time, I've probably done over 200 games. So I've pretty much played every weekend for 4 years. So I don't do things in half measures. My wife and family can attest to that. If I get into something, I'm like all in. And so it's only been 4 years, which doesn't seem a long time, and this guy's been playing forever. But in those 4 years, I've certainly made the most of it. It's definitely my passion now.
I think it's more than just every weekend. About 200, games played in 4 years. Is there even that many weekends in?
I've got some mates at work, and they're big golfers, and they coined this term a double header, where they will play 18 holes twice on a weekend. So they'll play the Saturday and the Sunday, and then every now and then, when my wife would go to a conference or something in Cape Town, then it would be a double header weekend. So I would get to play 2 games. So I've done that a few times, and then obviously a lot of night opses and other longer games as well. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
What got you into airsoft in the first place?
My wife, pretty much, to be honest. She probably regrets it now. But I got into a bit of a rut probably, maybe 5 years ago or so, where my eldest son went to varsity at UCT, so it was my younger son, James, who I think a lot of people also know from Airsoft. And so it was my wife, James, and I in the house, and we kind of got into this habits of just every weekend was Netflix and chill, and you just end up mind rotting, sitting there. I've always been a person who wants to have hobbies. I've had a lot of hobbies in my time, generally outdoorsy shooting type hobbies. And I was just going through a period where I didn't really have a hobby, doing nothing on weekends. And then it was James's birthday, and my wife said to me, look, there's this thing called Airsoft. You should go and take James and see what it's like. and she came across the Facebook page of Jared at Urban Airsoft.
Okay.
And my son and I, it was actually, we were busy on some weekend, so we went quite soon after his birthday. And we went to Urban Airsoft, and we got there, and we kind of thought it would be like paintball. You kind of pitch up and play for an hour and go home or something. And we watched everyone playing. They didn't have any rentals left. And James and I looked at this, and this is like, I was born for this. This is me. I am all in, and I haven't even pulled the trigger on airsoft gun. And I chatted to Jared, and he said, "Look, they've got no rentals, but Walker War Games is just down the road." This is when Walker was in
Rumour.
Rumour area. So James and I thought, okay, let's go to this Walker place and see what we're in for here. And I walked into the shop, and I was just like, the shop was made for me. You know, all my life I've been buying camo and stuff like that, and now there's a shop full of guns and things that you don't have to wait for licenses for. So James and I ended up just deciding, look, let's do this. So we actually bought starter kits there and then, got BBs, loaded them up, got back in the car, went to Urban Airsoft, played for the rest of the day. And as I say, the rest is history. I mean, pretty much every weekend since then, that's what I've been doing. The bike bits, and it's not letting go.
Oh, it never does.
How long it'll take before it does. Yeah.
Well, by the sounds of it, you're actually a firearm owner. Okay.
Yeah, so I live in Fourways. I'm a Joburg guy now, but my roots is I'm a farm boy from KZN. So I grew up on a farm, and I grew up with, from the moments I could carry a pellet gun, I had a pellet gun. I got a gun license for a 2.2 as soon as I was old enough, and then hunting rifles, you name it, practical pistol shooting, a lot of wing shooting, you name it. I was big into guns, archery, then into bow hunting. I did competitive archery with my wife actually for many, many years.
Okay.
So I've always been into either sort of hunting, archery, bow hunting, fishing, overlanding in a 4x4. That kind of deal has always been what attracts me. So airsoft is just another extension of that.
Slightly cheaper than hunting and all the rest.
Yes, for sure.
Exactly. And yeah, if I was shooting my hunting rifle in the garden, I think I would have issues. Let alone other people. So yeah, it's one of the, with hunting and stuff, it's like maybe once a year you get to do it, and you have to, it's a big expensive endeavor. I love plinking and just being able to shoot and play around and stuff, and airsoft's perfect for that.
Yeah, no, 100%. With in regards to now playing airsoft, where and what are you currently playing the most?
So where I play the most is COF games. So a bit of the history. So as I say, I started with Jared and them at Urban Airsoft, and I really loved it there. Played there for probably the first 2 or 3 months, and then I heard about this night ops thing, and I think it was the Jackal night ops that COF was holding.
Yeah.
And I found out about this, and then James and I registered for that game. And it was our first COF game. It happened to be a night off. And that's when I got hold of Grant, who was running the LA Red team at the time. And, the idea of playing a full 24-hour game was like sleepless nights of anticipation for this. So ended up playing that game. And then what really caught me was this whole XP system of, if I play some more, I can up my jewels a bit and start getting perks and things like that. And just the gamification that Paul and Grant and the guys at COF had come up with, really attracted me to the whole system and stuff.
Yeah.
So then I kind of got on that bandwagon of chasing XP. I've still, played, games with Jared and them. I really do enjoy their community as well. But I've kind of built up a stronger just relationship with the COF guys. But then I've also played, at other places. I played with Bruce and them at SASL games. I've done 2 of the 3 Airsoft X's. So I've been around and about, lots of games at Polokwane and all sorts.
Okay.
I love the variety that all the different communities have to offer.
Okay, and would you say the communities were very welcoming when you would go to join them for the first time?
Yeah, look, when I was in the early days, I went to Kempton Park, the first game they had at Kempton Park Hospital. And Bruce was talking about that game the other night, about him being up on stage and his legs shaking and stuff. And I popped in because I'd heard about this game, but I didn't really know enough at the time to think, oh, well, I could, actually play. But anyway, we went there just to see how many people were playing and stuff. And I found that quite intimidating because the number of people there, everyone fully kitted out, and they had nods on and helmets. And I was wearing a bow hunting camo tracksuit and mags in my pockets with glasses on. So that's that kind of being a newbie into the sport and seeing how experienced other people are can be a bit intimidating. But in terms of the overall camaraderie and the people and the communities and that sort of thing, I must say I've never had anything that's anything other than welcoming.
Yeah.
I do enjoy all the different games. I'm not a speed softer. It's just not something I've ever gotten into. I've never had the guns for that. I've always been a sniper, and then SSX 23, which really isn't for speed soft, it's the double action trigger. So I've never really played much speed soft, but pretty much every other discipline I really enjoyed.
Okay.
What faction were you at the first Kempton?
So I didn't play. They'd run out of tickets. So we got there. We watched everyone going in, etc. And then I had a bit of FOMO. But then the next game we played at Kempton.
Okay.
I think the next game was the one where Kicking Mustang was there.
Oh, yes.
James and I were the first ones when he fell down that hole. We were the ones hearing him scream his head off, and went to go and see what was going on. So yeah, that was a bit of excitement. But we played that game. I think I played 2 Kempton games. They were a blast. Played pretty much any opportunity I get, I go for it, Sam.
Okay. Just a random question. Have you had any prior service experience?
So formally, no, not at all. Not formally, but I feel like my whole life I have. And let me explain that. So when I said I grew up on a farm, my best mate when I grew up, we were from like little kids running around shooting each other with catties, blow pipes, blow darts, bows and arrows. We were at war with each other the whole time. I don't know how I still have 2 eyes, to be honest. But we were naughty little kids. And we grew up hunting, fishing, shooting, all the way up until varsity. Even into varsity, we were still mates. When I finished school, I got called up papers to go to military service, but ended up going to varsity. And then by the time I finished the varsity, call-up was no longer a thing. But this friend of mine actually ended up going to the British Army.
Okay.
Where he was there for over 20 years.
Sure.
And actually was a sniper. He did many tours overseas. And then became a sniper instructor. He was a sniper instructor in Germany, Australia, various different places for the British Army. So it's quite funny in that I say, no, I've never had formal training, but my best mate who I grew up with actually went the formal route and was a real sniper and did sniper training, trained people for many years. So I still keep in touch with him a lot, discuss strategies now and then with him. He doesn't understand the fact that I can only shoot like 100 meters and not like 2 days, which changes dynamics a lot. So no formal training, but mentally I feel like I've had it, by proxy.
I think it's not necessarily a factor to have formal training. It's interesting because you'll see guys lean more towards certain factors or certain classes because of training. For instance, myself, I like CQB. I used to be in the tactical operations side, so CQB is my thing. I love it. So when you have someone that is exceptionally well in a class like yourself, kind of would beg a question: was there? But that does answer it when you grow up. I mean, my mom always said I grew up with a gun in my hand, so guns has always been my thing, and it's interesting to hear.
Yeah. Also, I had a interesting relationship with the vervet monkeys on our farm. And I would get home from school and I would put all my camo on. In those days, it was face paint, you name it. And I would go and walk around in the forest trying to get vervet monkeys. And they outsmarted me 20 times to 1. I must say, I hardly got any of them because they learned so much about me and my behavior. And when you've got 20, 30 eyes looking at you from the tops of trees, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my sniping, at least when I feel like I'm sniping, it takes me a lot back to those days of sneaking around in a forest trying to find vervet monkeys in full camo.
And being patient. I mean, you need level of patience on both sides.
Agreed.
Very much so, yeah.
How's it, guys? STYX from Just Bear With Me and STYX Around podcast. Just wanted to take this time to quickly thank our sponsors. So thank you SA Airsoft Magazine for sponsoring us and also giving away the July and August issue for those who have registered on the website. So guys, don't miss out. Go through to the website, sign up, and you'll get 2 free magazines to read.
Hey guys, Bear here from Bear With Me and STYX Around podcast. I have some very exciting news. Bruce from Airsoft League SA and STYX have given us 2 tickets for any 2 of our lucky winners in a lucky draw competition to win tickets into STYX valued at 550 Rand each. It's very simple on how to get it. The first ticket is anyone as a lucky draw that has subscribed to our YouTube, has become a follower on our Facebook page on SA Airsoft Magazine, and also registered on our website at SA Airsoft Magazine, will get a draw or an entry into a draw. You can also get additional entries if you share the YouTube as well as the Airsoft Magazine on your social medias with hashtag AirsoftX giveaway as well as hashtag Bear With Me and STYX Around podcast. The second ticket, anyone that has bought a ticket from 1st of July all the way to end of August, the 31st of August, will get a full refund on their ticket. So guys, don't miss out. Go, subscribe, like, share, and let us know.